Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Mizzle. You watching my channel Mizzle 14, and I'm back doing a review of MTV Catfish, Season 8, Episode 23 with Jake and Taylor. This episode was the pre-pandemic episode, meaning they was doing this with the traveling formula like they normally have been doing before they did the shutdown with the quarantine edition shows that we were seeing since the season premiered. So it was very great, refreshing to see them doing this before they had to do in-home quarantine shows, which I like the quarantine shows as well because it's just as much drama than that. It's just the only thing is that they're stationary and they're not traveling. So maybe in the future they could do both. Hey, you don't never know. Shoot, I have to do traveling all the time. But I know a lot of people still like the old way formula. But a lot of people like the new way too. So, hey, I like both. I mean, I do join the new way too. Because sometimes these people do say a lot behind camera when they don't want to say face to face. But it is what it is. So this was the pre-quarantine episode. And it was refreshing. So we got Jake. He's 18 years old. And mind you, this is my second take doing it. Because I did it one time and then I think the video just cut off on me. So I got to do it again, y'all. So this is my second take. Alright. So we got Jake, 18 years old. He's a TikTok star. I don't know about TikTok. I know have that app. So it is what it is. I heard about TikTok. I know it's popular. It's famous. But I'm not on it. So Jake is 18 years old. He's in TikTok. He met a girl named Taylor, who's 24 years old. Taylor hit him up with his Instagram DMs. And said, oh, hey, you remember me, cutie? I've been in your social media convention. Did you remember me? And he don't remember her. And they be talking, I think, for 7-8 months. And right off the bat, she wanted to give him money. Now, I know some people will say, hey, you give me money, sure, by all means, give me money. But sometimes you gotta be careful with that. Because you don't know where this money coming from, who this person is sending you money. It's like, is this money legit and everything? Don't know. Next minute, you know, you get money in your account and you got an FBI knocking on your door like Andy or sisters. Took all her assets. It's like, shit. So, you don't want that to happen. So, it's just like, you got to be careful who trying to send you money. Because it could be a little hidden agenda for them sending you money. Alright, so, but most people will say, hey, you give me money. I'm not going to say no. Sure, most people will. Sure. But you're not getting my you're not getting none of my bank information, none of that stuff. No, you want to send me money, Western Union money or something like that. Sure. She'll do that way. And everything. So it was weird that it happened. So right up time they was talking and they were supposed to meet. He said they FaceTime, but she always show a color background, like a wall. So it was no face. And they talk and they try to meet up. He live in Nashville, Tennessee, and she lives in Louisiana. So when they had to talk to meet up. She was gonna come to see him in Nashville. They planned. She come to his city, drove around. Say she drove past his house, described the house, and didn't even meet the boy. So he be ghosted him. And didn't see him. So he was upset. So around Christmas time, I guess he didn't want to answer his phone and stuff for like 2-3 days. And she's upset. So when he did respond back to her, she said, I know you did not talk to me. You got to mess with the wrong one because I'm not the one. I'm not the one with this. So what are you going to do? You're not going to play me. So what is? I'm going to end your career. I'm going to get you before you get me again. I was like, oh, girl, you better stop, Taylor. Sure. And it was like, wow, she went off the deep end and want to blackmail him and end his career? And his TikTok career? That's not good. And he just started. He's 18 years old. Like, he got a whole life ahead of him. You want to end his career? Sure. And that was that. And he had a friend named Emily who he met at the social media convention. He actually met her face to face. And Emily told him that Taylor Holland is a catfish. How she would know that? Because it's very weird and coincidence that Emily and Taylor met him at a social convention around the same time. And Emily knows that Taylor is a catfish. Don't know how she would know that if she's a catfish. Well, how she get the information. And That's that. So it's kind of weird. They suspicious that maybe Emily is Taylor because how she would know all this is say off the back that she's a catfish. Okay. They did all that talking, and let's move on for the investigation. So they did the investigation, and they changed numbers. Yeah, they changed numbers and talk and everything. Investigation. They checked the number. And the number came up with multiple hits. First it came up with a 46-year-old named Briggs. Well, I said, oh, that's crazy. And then it had different other names. And the area was Shady Lane. I said, oh, that's a weird name to be living at, Shady Lane. So that was a dead end. So check the photos. And when they checked the photos, because they did talk to him about the photos, and it just looked like the photos didn't match the body. And I said, ooh. So they just cropped the head and put Jenny. Oh, I said the person's real name who was the pictures from, but I get to it. And send the person's head in the body pictures. Now, I forgot to tell you, when they went to Fika and Jake's house, the whole family answered the door. The mom, the daddy, and the sister. Before even Jake even came out to downstairs. Jake was upstairs in his room. I said, hi, your whole family. Y'all was happy to be on Catfish. The sister said, hey, y'all. The mom said, hey. The dad said, hey. And everything. I said, damn. The mom, the dad, everybody was at the door. And they said, Jake. And Jake said, right now. I said, oh, my gosh. Yeah, it's a family of excitement for this episode. So, that's when they talked to Jake, and he gave all the details. Now, back to this. So, when they checked the photos, they realized the photos of the body is not matching up. So, they checked the photos. It was a dead end. They looked at the Facebook page and typed in Taylor Holland. And it had 1,000,001 Taylor Hollands, and most of them, they had no profile pictures. So, it was like dead pages. So, they make it think that there's a common name people use to catfish people. It had dead pages because it was a lot. I was like, damn, how many Taylor Hollands in his Facebook? And so that didn't go. So they said, let's do something that we never do any before. Now, before that, they called Emily. Emily did not respond. The Facebook, you can't even message because she didn't set up, not the Facebook, her voice message. You can't leave a voice message because she didn't set it up. So they text her. She never responded. So they do something they never did before. They did a blast search on social media. Neve had Twitter. Kim have Instagram. They got 1,000,001 followers. So somebody will probably know this picture. So they say, hey, one of them help. Did anybody see this girl? Did anybody know who this person is? Can you help us? Kimmy got a hit for somebody, one of her followers. And they said, oh yeah, I follow this girl. Her name is Jenny. Okay? And they looked at Jenny page, and it's a legit, real page. The Jenny pictures that's on her profile, it matches the one that Taylor was using. So I said, oh, okay. So they talked to Jenny, and Jenny talked to them, and she said, no, that's not, I didn't have any catfish no one, but I did get messages from people telling me that someone is using my pictures. And it's scary and frustrating because I don't know who it is and what to do. And how do you go by even stopping someone from doing that? And it's hard to stop someone, a catfish, but unless you do a really investigation, like you got the power like Neve and Kim and production to hunt down these people and stop them. But it's really hard. So Kimmy said, that's the price you got to pay to be a bad bee. I said, you better do it. She laughed. She said, please do find a person and good luck and everything. And they said, good. So they brought Jacob to speed and told him about orders. He said, oh, wow, that's crazy. So they say, listen, the last resort we have to do is contact Taylor. All right? So they said, go for it. Let's contact Taylor. So they contact Taylor. And she answered, she said, hello. And he said, this is Taylor. She said, yes, this is me. And this is Neve Catfish and all that stuff. And I'm here with your boy named Jake. And I'm here trying to find people and catfish people and all that stuff like that. I'm the G, the AG of Catfish. Not the AG, the OG. Okay? And she said, okay. And he said, where you from? She said, Louisiana. He said, okay, that's like abroad. Where? Like, Pacific. She said, I'm around the way. I'm around. I said, ooh. Tis around the way, Goa. Oh, she around the way, Goa. She's around a Waygor. Not a girl. She's around a Waygor. And I said, oh, girl. And they was like, okay, so I'm with Jake. We could want to meet up because it's time to y'all meet face to face for real, and let's make this happen. And we could come to you or something like that. She said, you know, I'm just so frustrated. I just can't. Can I get some time to think about it? Because there's a lot going on. Can I get some time? And he said, come on. It's like, what is the thing with you and Jake? And what is your, like, hesitations to meeting up? She said, I gotta go. I can't do this. I gotta go. I can't leave. I can't. All right. And they said, what's going on? Why she? And she hanged up. And I said, what's going on? What is going on here? So then the next day, they said, we can't do anything else for the rest of the night. So let's go home. Let's sleep on it. Let's get a good night's sleep. I'm asleep. I'm bored. And the next day, the next day, she texts me and said that, oh, I'm on my way. Can we meet at freaking Jake's house? They said, we is not doing that. It's creepy. You is not meeting at his house. At the house you say you describing. No, we not doing that. So let's meet at a freaking park, a public place, where everybody's around. Because if you're trying to do something, we can scream like in a scary movie. Ah! No. We can do that, alright? And she said, cool, fine. So that they went at the mutual place that they said it was going to meet at. And here walks in the girl. It was a blue car. And it was waiting. And here walks in a girl. And two people was in the car. So it was three people. I was like, okay. So one came up. And the catfish name is actually Amanda. And like I said, this catfish is not like a typical normal catfish that we normally see. The person who's rude, who's aggressive, who's mean for out of no reason, is dismissive, arrogant, none of that. She's a nice girl who just told her piece. It was kind of a sad story. I mean, she did what she did, and she apologized. She owned up to it. But it just seemed like it's not one of those catfish that was saying, well, I don't like this catfish. I just feel bad for her. After this episode, I did feel bad for her. But good thing she owned up to what she did. Now, she said, yeah, she has been bullied. She's the one who's been catfishing Jake. And she is Taylor Holland. And she created this profile 4 or 5 years ago. She's 24 years now. And she was in high school. And when she was bullied in high school, she was bullied too much that she had to be homeschooled. So she created a way to, I guess, to really build friends. Because she said she really don't have friends that much to connect to. So she created profile pages to connect to people and all that stuff. So I was saying, okay, alright, understanding it, but you got to know that 45 high school, yeah, you want to stay in high school, you would create this page. But now, years later, you would think you'd be outgrown that or realize it's not good to, as healthy to do that. And she just had self-esteem. She didn't really have a lot of friends. She didn't have people to talk to. She did this like that. So it sounded like she was trying to create her high school age where she got, well, you know, high school, you meet a lot of friends and you hang out, you talk, and you have a good time till you graduate for 4 years. Y'all hang out, y'all talk, y'all build a bond. For 4 years, y'all graduate and y'all go your separate ways, or y'all might go in the same area if y'all go to college together or whatever, or y'all decide to stay home. It is what it is. And she didn't have that experience. She was homeschooled, so she was like very sheltered. And she didn't really have human interaction, so she just did whatever she can, and she had the time, and I guess fortunately she just been catfishing. So yes, it's not right for her to catfish and everything, but I do understand why she felt the need to do it. Okay? It's not wrong. It's not right. I don't think everybody should be catfishing. She should be herself. But she said she just had a hard time being herself because nobody really accepted her as herself. Okay? Alright, so when it came to the point, so they was investigating, they were talking to her and said, do you even drove past his house? Have you even been in that field? She said, no, I've never been in that field. So you Google map his house. She said, yes, I Google map his house. I said, oh, that's what she really described it. And she said, oh, we met before. I said, oh? She said, "Oh, we met at a party, something like that, and everything." And then Jake said he vaguely remember it. I said, "Mm-hmm. So you did meet this girl. He never met a Taylor, the one that she was using, but he do remember meeting an Amanda one time." And so they asked her, at one point you got really upset with him and you got pissed off and mad. What was that? She said, "Yes, I did get upset and I apologize. I shouldn't. I really did apologize, but it was something that I'm not comfortable talking about right now. I just can't right now." And he said, "Okay, so what was it that you had so much evidence that you was willing to threaten and blackmail and his life?" She said, "I just can't talk like that. I can't talk with this like this now." So they said, "Okay, let's table this right now and let's meet tomorrow, and then we can refresh and meet up again." She said, "Okay, cool." So they actually went to see Amanda, and when they was on the way to see the location, they got a call, and it was Amanda. It was her friend Chelsea. And they said, "Oh, actually, Amanda wants to talk to you because it was more to the story that you don't even know." I said, "Okay," because they feel like it was some pieces of the story that she was not telling them, and it need to be more to it. So they went, and Amanda had actually two good friends that she claimed she never had really good friends. So she had a friend named Kelsey and a friend named Chelsea who's been there for Amanda for a while, and they actually drove with Amanda 8 hours to meet this Neve, Cammy, and Jake. I said, "Dad, this is a good friend. So you claim you don't have friends, well, you actually have friends right here, loyal friends." So when she sat there and she explained her story, that's what made me feel like I feel bad for her, because she said that Jake has been using her for her money. Now, she did open the doors in offering money. So they did mention to us that you can't open that doors and offering money to people and then get upset for being used. But at the same time, people shouldn't be using you like that. And you got to put your foot down to being used. So it's like it's double-edged sword, because she opened the doors, but then you don't want to have people feeling using you. Okay. So she said one time, around the time when she did get upset with him, is that he called her and said that he upset. It's Christmas Eve. I had no money to buy no gifts for my family. I can't go home without gifts. So she sent him $300. And then one time he said about his phone and everything, and she had some money there. And then he said, called her about bail somebody out of jail. And money there, and she was very uncomfortable. She said it's been times he'd been calling her and she'd been declining. Now, the time when she did give him that $300 for the Christmas stuff, he was supposed to call her back when he got home and never called her back. So that's around the same time the story that he gave is like the Christmas time she stopped talking to her because she stood him up, and she went ballistic. I said, "Well, so you took money from her and you didn't call her after you took the money from her, and then you call her back to like calm her down so you can ask more money." So he has been doing pattern of using her with her money. And I said, "Oh, that's not good." Because that's a totally different story than he was telling them what happened. So they met the next day and they had to sit down and they discussed it. And Jake admitted that he has been using her. At first he was denying. He said, "Oh, that's not true." But then he realized, he said, "You know what? Yes, I has been using her." But he said you can't open the doors like that, which I do agree. You can't open the doors by giving people money and then get upset when they have been using you and you get that. But at the same time, you can't be using her like that. And keep using her, and you had no interest to move forward but money. So it was something. She said she meant her part, and he apologized as well. And they said a friendship could brew between those two if they need some time to think about it. So they said, "Okay, we could do that." And 2 months later, he said him and Amanda has been FaceTiming, and they could. And he said he promised to pay her money back, because he did feel bad for using her with her money. And when it came to her part, the episode kept it. I said, "Your spectral cable, come on now." She'll cut my episode off like that. So I don't know what she said, but she was happy. So I guess things was good. But that was MTV Catfish, y'all. Please like, comment, subscribe to my channel. Tell me how y'all feel about this episode, and I'll talk to y'all later, alright? Peace.